Have you ever heard someone say, I heard God's voice and this is what he said? Well, the question oftentimes is, how do you know it's God's voice? Let me just give you an example of what transpired with me on August 24th. I was about to put out a Bible verse that I send out to some friends and family. Here's the text from Psalm 132. For the Lord has chosen Zion. He has desired it for his dwelling place. This is my resting place forever. Here I will dwell, for I have desired it. I will abundantly bless her provision. I will satisfy her poor with bread. I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. I thought back and I remembered in 1982, my wife and my son, who was 2 years old at the time, went to Israel to find out if Jesus was really real. And while we were there, we ended up going to David's tomb, which is located outside the walled city of Jerusalem. And I brought my son in my arms up to this crypt, and I introduced my David to the David of the Bibles. We were on Mount Zion at the time. Mount Zion is a little hill outside of the walled city of Old Jerusalem. King David said that he would select this place as his resting place in Psalm 135. That's what brought me to this point. As I thought back on these things, I became a little bit melancholy. The toddler that was in my arms is now a man, and the man that carried the toddler is now an old man. Tears started to fill my eyes. My inner voice started to say, Lord, look at what's happening to this country. It seems like it's filled with briars and brambles and thorns. There's no justice, there's no honesty. There is only division and there is hatred. And it seems that people are not seeing what is going on. There are evil people who want to take away the children from their parents, to confuse them and abuse them. I don't recognize this place as the country in which I grew up. A tear started to stream down my face, and this is what I heard in my head. I have just caught your tears in your bottle. I am crying with you. You see the terrible nature of evil now firsthand. Would you ever choose this for your children? I replied, of course not, Lord. Never, never would I want something like this for my children. Jesus said to me, experience is far different than information. Knowledge is based upon experience. The forbidden fruit was a point of choice, an opportunity for the first couple to see for themselves what I had told them evil was all about. I will never take away the freedom to choose from the human soul. The spirit of man will one day vote on the eradication of evil permanently from the universe, and everyone will vote for its eradication, doing it knowledgeably based upon the pain, the sorrow, the hurt, and the death that it has brought. Now look to me, not to what you think you see. The tears dried on my face, and now we're going to go back to the question originally posed in the beginning of this video. How do you know God's voice? Jesus speaks with sympathy and empathy. His words are consoling. He is a problem solver. He brought the bottle to encapsulate the tears. He speaks not only with authority, but he asks you questions that you will come to some form of conclusion based upon that which is morally right. He will speak from words contained in the Holy Scriptures because those are his words. You will be comforted by the information that he gives you, and he will help you to realize that those things that you are seeing are not long-lasting, but the things that you don't see are permanent. There is never guilt or condemnation. There is information concerning a need for an adjustment in your behavior or in your character development. The voice is tender, never nagging, lovingly firm, and direct. You never feel a sense of confusion after you hear God's voice. When Jesus speaks to you, he speaks with clarity. Simply put, any other voice that encourages you to sin or do something immoral is not God's voice. If it is mocking or suggestive, dredging up thoughts of your past, or filling you with fear, this is not the voice of God. Jesus' life, death, burial, and resurrection was all about the elimination of the influence of that voice. It may sound the same in your head, but you have to consider the content. Jesus builds and forgives. Satan accuses, mocks, and diminishes and leaves you hopeless. God's voice brings light. Satan's voice brings darkness to your soul. For the assurance of salvation, repeat Romans 10 verse 9 with me. I say with my mouth, Jesus is Lord, and I believe in my heart that God raised him from the dead, and as a result, I am saved. Thank you, Jesus. Remember, every Wednesday, a new video comes out on this channel revealing the love of God through his Son, Jesus Christ, to you and the world. Share this with everyone. God bless you.